2025 was by far the best travel year I have had, 100% thanks to the credit card points and miles game. And I spent way over 1 million credit card points between me and my player two. And in this video, we're going to talk about three shifts in my mentality and overall strategy that definitely took my points and miles game to the next level. And maybe some of them you can incorporate into your personal lifestyle. But before we hop into that content, guys, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, as it directly supports my channel, and I release credit card content here on YouTube regularly. Before we hop into the three main points in question, I wanted to do some reflection on my overall 2025 travel year that was bankrolled 100% on the points and miles game. Starting off with my favorite trip of 2025, I was able to stay at the Palazzo Manfredi overlooking the Roman Colosseum that was funded solely via the Hilton ecosystem. Moving on to Portugal, I not only utilized intercontinental free night credits, but some of my Hilton honors points to stay at some five-star resorts in Lisbon, Portugal. Other amazing trips include things like Florence, Italy, and my last trip of 2025 being NYC. And I can't forget one of the craziest trips I took where I hiked a literal volcano in Guatemala. And the biggest common denominator across every single one of these redemptions is that each of the points that I'm going to speak about played a major role in not only achieving the points, but spending them as well. And moving on to point number one of the video, which I'll probably get the most slack for, but Chase is not the end all be all for the credit card points and miles game. Now, before I hop into the specifics of this point, I do want to say this is no friendly fire to Chase. I am a Chase ecosystem lover. I have had my Chase Sapphire Preferred for well over 7 years, and it will never go anywhere. But I do believe that when you start in the credit card points and miles game, you get your Chase trifecta, you start abusing those 5x multipliers on your Freedom Flex, stay at your world of Hyatt redemptions, and it feels like the credit card points and miles game can't get any better than this. And while this might be the ideal scenario for some, with the frequency that me and my wife are traveling at lately, once we have exhausted all of the finite materials, like both of us have a Freedom Flex, a Freedom, a Sapphire that we've bounced referrals off of, even Chase Ink business cards, you are going to eventually run out of sign up bonuses to churn. And if you do not venture out of the Chase ecosystem, you are just going to be able to generate points through traditional spend. So, in my opinion, in our experience, the way I've been able to ramp up my travel plans is by venturing out into all ecosystems, such as City, which is now the main focus, Hilton for hotels, flight transfer partners such as American Airlines, and the list can go on and on. But I believe if you have Chase as kind of the cornerstone and you want to just expand to help add some extra points for things like flights or hotel stays, you will start to see your travel plans ramp up and up and up. And if you're apprehensive on exiting completely from the Chase ecosystem, take baby steps. Start applying for things like hotel center cards offered by Chase, like the IHG Premier. This credit card is honestly a credit card that I will never cancel. It's going to have a $95 annual fee, but every year I get a free night credit. And I was able to utilize three of these last year from the sign up bonus in Lisbon, Portugal, where I stayed at an amazing five-star resort for $0 out of pocket. So, again, if you don't want to leave the Chase ecosystem, that's okay. But just know that you're going to eventually run out of sign up bonuses. And if you don't want to just baby step your way to your next redemption, I would heavily recommend at least venturing out, getting some new sign up bonuses so you can increase your travel frequency again and again and again. Moving on to number two, and one of the things that made the biggest impact in my rotation in 2025 was to stop listening about what people perceive a specific credit card to be. Especially here in the social media space, a credit card can be amazing one day, and then the next day, it's the most hated credit card on the YouTube space. The perfect example is the American Express Gold. If you type in American Express Gold into YouTube, most of the videos that pop up are going to talk about how this credit card is the biggest waste of money. But in my opinion, even though I've canceled the credit card, this credit card is hands down one of the best earners for the grocery and dining categories. But it is made for the specific consumer. With over thousands of different variations of credit cards, each and every credit card has its own specific user. And what I need you, the viewer, to do is to kind of personalize and view a credit card on how it's going to fit in your life. I can talk about how the American Express Gold is the best credit card, but if you are someone that doesn't dine out often, the credit card is going to be a money pit. And where I saw the biggest change here is within the Hilton ecosystem. The Hilton ecosystem, even after devaluations, is by far the largest hotel expenditure that I've had throughout the entire 2025 calendar year. Having well over 12 nights stayed in the Hilton ecosystem across 4 international destinations. Without the Hilton ecosystem, I would not have been able to do the travels that I would have been able to want to do. And not only that, they were all in 5-star level hotels that blew me away from the day I checked in until the day I checked out. And if I were to listen to the general kind of association with the Hilton ecosystem here in the YouTube space, it is one of the most hated hotel programs in the entire credit card points and miles game. And justifiably so, they have been devaluing their currency. But if I were to just take the perception of everyone, I would have missed out on so many memories. And I experienced this firsthand because on this channel, I have released over 5 videos on the Hilton ecosystem talking about how good it's been to me in 2025. And on a minimal, I get at least between 2 and 4 comments talking about how worthless the currency is, how these points aren't worth nothing but zero point 0.2 cents per point. And if I wasn't making my own opinion on what the Hilton ecosystem offers, I would be missing out on all the things that I've experienced. So again, here in the credit card YouTube space, it's very easy to fall into what everyone believes, but take each video as an educational purpose and then apply it to your own life. Just because another provider hates a credit card doesn't mean that you have to do so, and vice versa. Pick what works for you, what works for your player two, what works for your general lifestyle, your spending categories, and go from there. Moving on to the third and last point that I talk about all the time here on the channel is that in 2025, I exercise it even more, is that cents per point is irrelevant. I know this is going to ruffle a lot of feathers, but especially when you start out in the credit card points and miles game, 2 cents per point becomes your floor, and any redemption that does not match that value is not worthwhile of your points, and you will wait until you achieve that magical 2 cents per point number. But in 2025, guys, I took every single trip that I was able to supplement with points and miles, even if it meant I was capturing a 1.3 cents per point. I consistently get comments on my videos saying that 1.2, 1.3 cents per point is not value. But for me, any vacation that I can bankroll for $0 out of pocket is an amazing deal for me. What normally happens is people earn all of these credit card points. You guys do all this research, get the best sign up bonus, and you just sit on a mountain of sign up bonus points. And then what happens is something like Hilton, where they rug pull everyone and devalue their currency. Or we see, like with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, they take away that big 1.5 cents per point from us. So again, cents per point is irrelevant because the longer you hold those points, the more chances you have to get devalued. So, my kind of advice for anyone that has a boatload of points and is scared to use them is to take that first leap of faith and just book the vacation, guys. Stop looking for that 5, 6, 7, 8 cents per point in first class to some random location that you're not going to go to. Book the vacation of your dreams, regardless of what the value is. If it is $0 out of pocket, it is an amazing deal, guys. You will earn boatloads of more points in the future. There's always going to be another sign up offer, and the memories you create, you're never going to be mad about. Now, just to reiterate, I am not saying to flush your credit card points down the drain and book some abysmal zero point 0.7 cents per point redemption, but just at face value, most deals that you look at, whether it's through the World of Hyatt, whether it's through Hilton, whether it's through American Airlines, you are generally going to get the baseline of what's considered acceptable. Like for Hilton, for me, anything higher than that zero point 0.7, zero point 0.8 at the SLH and Waldorf's is a great deal. For Chase, anything higher than like a 1.2 cents per point, give me the place. Anything in American higher than 1.2, 1.3, that is a flight I am booking right now. I am not shopping for a better deal. I am going to capture that $0 flight. So again, I'm not saying to flush points down the drain, but I'm just saying to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Take the trip. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to have a 2 cents per point redemption. It doesn't have to be the first class flight that you've dreamed of. Just spend your points before the credit card companies take them away from us. But guys, those are 3 things I really utilized in the year 2025, and it took my travel game to the next level via the credit card points and miles. If any of these pertain to your life or helped you out in any way, drop me a comment down below or just give me your best tip that you utilize in 2025 to take your game to the next level. And if you want another credit card related video, I have one right here for you, and I'll catch you at the next video.